Good evening and welcome to another episode of our Apocalypse World campaign, The Frozen Heights. This is Mr. JP Stilts and I am so very happy to be rejoined by all three players. We're gonna really be diving right back into the action. Just a quick recap. It has been about a week. Last time we were here, well, it started in the castle and it started with this blob, this dark mass appearing over the horizon and making its way through or towards the castle. Sam Kryn went up high, one of the high towers, tried to get perspective. This blob appears to have wings and an inky-like substance around it. It doesn't look like it's something that should be able to fly. Sam wants to get the hell out of Dodge. Well, Lark, he decided, I don't want to just look at this thing. I want to get into this thing. I want to know what this is. He opens his mind and oh, wouldn't you know it, the entity has brought his baptism. His time of awakening is here. Oh, and what does this do for Lark? Oh, the shadows behind him. Oh boy, do they twitch? Do they shimmer? His eyes, oh, do they darken? Dusk is there. She sees all of this happen. She has to stand up for a moment and kind of even say she's with Lark, only to say that she's not with Sam. Sam arrives, wants everybody to just get out of here. We gotta go. Lark agrees to walk outside, but he doesn't want to go. He wants to go talk to the Emperor. Sam's not all about that. Grabs him by the back of the neck. While this is all happening in the castle, people are getting agitated. Things are going a bit strange. Well, Chris has woken up. His fall on the stairs knocked him out for a little bit of time. Can't find Sammy. Where's Tammy at? Wait, no, that's her. She's staring at Henry. Henry Shockwave. Oh yeah, they used to have a little thing, an unspoken, could never happen kind of thing. The look that she's given him, Chris could barely stand it. He wanted to give her the chance. Tammy, here's the button. Push the button if you want him to be free, but no. She doesn't want that. She wants him to go. She grabs him. She pushes him out of the room. Go. Go. That thing on the radar, that thing that is going towards the castle, go. She doesn't say it with words, but with her eyes, with her force. Chris reluctantly prepares. He gathers his supplies. He says his goodbyes. He heads up the stairs, but before getting up, the door stops short. And Tammy's standing there, throws him a pair of keys. Doesn't say anything, doesn't seem to even know she's doing it. It just happens. He remembers the notes talking about this pony, this horse, these planes, these vague writing of obviously a car and trips that she was making. He goes, he searches, he finds it in the garage. The garage looks like it was all but destroyed, but the inside was still intact, covered in snow on the outside, but the inside was still intact. And wouldn't you know it, there it was. A dingo, as they call it, an armored personnel transport with a nice machine gun on top, pristine snow tires, some chains, a beautiful piece of military technology. He had a choice to make. He could either ram this car, just drive it out of the door, or clear the snow. So he spent some time clearing the snow. He saw that little blip in the distance, that strange thing hovering over the castle. But he gets the way clear and he prepares to leave. And just as he's preparing to leave, that dark mass moves. Dusk sees the shadow begin to cover more and more in the castle. And as we ended last week, the rain, the dark, inky black rain, had begun to fall as it hits the snow, turning it dark, as if someone is dipping a pen and allowing the ink to fall down upon the ground. As we come up, we can see Sam and Lark facing each other, Lark with his dark black eyes. Sam, wearing her helmet, you can still see these piercing blue eyes behind, almost like they're glowing, staring through these goggles. They stare at each other. Sam, you can start to hear the drops of that rain dripping on your helmet. You know you're safe for now, but it's only a matter of time before that rain gets inside the little crooks and crannies of your suit. Lark seems to be fully intending to go where he wants to go, but you've got his attention for the moment. What would Sam like to do?
This little shit is standing up to her, but she's currently on her drug, which keeps her less murdery. Oh, this is tough. And the other time, she probably would have just fucking blown his head off, but...
Yeah, and Lark is not oblivious to that fact. He's trying not to particularly anger Sam, but
Oh no, if he had said anything to piss her off, like actually piss her off, oh no, there would have been no hesitation either way.
Oh yeah, but like Lark, there is a confidence in him right now. He's got this huge smile on his face and those obsidian black eyes. He is very confident in what is happening right now. And as the rain starts falling, oh, Sam, this is going to happen whether or not you're here. Princey thought he could control the powers far beyond him, but he was wrong. And that will be his undoing. And my ascension.
Is that really what you think? You think you, the one who was really shitting his pants not even 3 hours ago, about everything else that could be happening in the city, the one who I met, who's cowered at the sight of a mere bear, she looks up, can handle that. Is that really what you think? Do you honestly fool yourself that much? Do you think your little shadow man is going to put that in line for you? Do you think he's going to put a collar on that for you and put the rein in your hands?
Sam, I think that is exactly where you misunderstand. That is not an enemy coming to us. That is an enemy being brought to us, handed on a silver platter. It doesn't need to be controlled. It is under control. It is under the entity's control. That is what it was. The mother, he called it the mother. He didn't understand. And it consumed him. It consumed him, and this is the result. You refer to the entity as my shadow man, my little shadow man. And Lark just points at the dark cloud. Can you continue to deny its power?
Yes. And she just looks down immediately. I know for a fact that little shadow man, that's not in his control. Why would it be? Why would he get rid of his own little nest? And there goes the train. Gotta love that sound of those wings beating up in the sky, huh? Gonna have to deal with that now myself.
Lark just continues the smile. He still just has a smile on his face. He holds out a hand and lets one of the droplets fall into his palm. Does that do anything particularly odd? Does it just kind of behave as water, or is something unusual about it? Besides the fact it's a random cloud of darkness dripping from the sky.
That's a very interesting question. For Lark, you definitely feel something, but it's not anything that you feel like has a purpose, but its purpose is not for you. That you already have everything from simply these drops that you need. For now, this rain is meant for everyone else in this place.
I see. I see clearly now. Lark turns to the church, turns back to Sam. Leave as you wish. I will certainly not stop you. You are your own being. But there's work to be done here, and there'll be plenty more work to do once this is gone. Someone has to stay and make sense of this all.
I see. And she just starts turning around slowly. Funny. I guess it's true what they say. Those who think they see all are truly blind. Go ahead and leave. Go ahead and keep leading your blind sheep. As for me, I have bigger things to do than be something's puppet. Adieu. And she starts walking off.
Lark gives like a bit of like a twitchy bow.
And she's just gonna start heading off towards the truck.
Dusk, in the church, you see Lark and Sam begin to separate, move over. The cult all around you, staring, waiting, anticipating their next move. When there's a loud shriek coming from the wall back behind you, you look through the broken rafters up to the wall where you can see a member of the Legion is just screaming and swatting at something that's just not there. Just this blood-curdling screech, swatting. It's only a second before a few of the other members grab him and try to get him quiet. You see out in the marketplace, people are trying to pack up and get their things to go. There's a child who's just starting to laugh. That creepy child laugh, looking up, their arms wide, allowing the rain to enter their mouth. Just, this is the most glorious thing they've ever experienced. Other people are trying to dart out of the rain. Others are falling down, grasping their heads. Chaos is beginning to sow its way into the people of the castle.
Lark is going to actually begin taking off his vestments because he wants to fully take in what is happening.
Oh yeah.
Wait, so he's just going to absorb the rain?
He's going to basically take off his shirt as he has done before.
Oh, okay. I mean, this isn't entirely dissimilar to some scenes that Dusk saw when she was still with animals. So, I mean, yeah, this thing has to be stopped, and it has to be stopped now. Okay, she shoots a message at Lark. If you're going to do something about this, you better do it now.
Fire! Think, think, think. You all hear 3 of these ballistas go fired off as the legate, seeing many people starting to go mad, not knowing exactly what this thing is, calls for his men to fire those ballista off. You hear the whistling as these bolts go up. You see them hit into this blob and pass right through it. The blob ripples as if it's water. You see the bolts fly through and disappear far out of sight.
Lark's not all that concerned by that. The mere physical weaponry is not going to change what happens here. This isn't the Emperor's realm, and certainly isn't Sam's realm either. This is his realm. This is the world beyond what most people can see. This is the entity's divine will in action. Lark turns to the castle where he had wanted to go before. He turns to the church and gestures to any cultist that has not already done so. He gestures for them to step out into the rain.
One by one, the cult removes their coats, their jackets, to appear as you do, to allow themselves to be completely and utterly bathed in this rain. As it gets through, Rourke standing there, smiling. This is like he's seeing a sunset for the first time. Abraham, relieved that he didn't have to use the gun. Preen and Lee, the 2 newcomers, hesitant at first, but willing. Preen and Dusk, you probably notice this. Preen allows her son to just slump on the floor, drawn more towards Lark and the rain outside than caring for him. And after not much time at all, you are left alone in the church with just you and Shazah. Sam, you begin to make your way to the truck, and you start to smell that smell. The smell of wet dog, the smell that fur around your neck is starting to get wet. It's only a matter of time before that fucking water is in your suit. You still have a ways to go.
Fuck! And she's just gonna immediately start running, and just she doesn't know if it's gonna help, but she's gonna take out one more vial, and she's like, damn, only a couple left. And she's gonna start etching it around in some of the more vulnerable kinks in her armor, where the water will probably get through first. Just try and fill those up with the blue powder.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and we're going to act under fire, but give yourself a +1 forward on it. So that's going to be doing your cool.
Actually, when I'm under fire, I can actually do it as hard.
Perfect. Let's do that instead.
Just singing in the rain.
Non-big money, no wins.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. There's this disappointed sigh as you quickly patch your suit and quickly dart through the dart through the courtyard, heading straight to the garage. Crin's already in the garage. You told her to get the truck ready. She's standing near it, her rifle in hand, looking across the way. Across the way, you can see there's 2 or 3 members of the Legion that had started to move the Emperor's vehicle. They're having to push it because they don't have the keys. But for the moment, 2 of them seem to be having severe dizziness, headache. It's unclear exactly what. There's only one that seems to be actively trying to get them back in line. This vehicle that the Emperor has, it's a station wagon of sorts that someone has taken a machine gun and somehow found a way to slap it on top of this thing. You're in the garage, you're next to this vehicle. You notice that the Legion hasn't had time to take anything out of the back of the truck. They were watching it, but everything happened so fast. The guns are still there, the ammo's still there, the armor is still there. Crin looks to you. Seriously.
You didn't get any of that shit on you, did you?
No, as soon as that stuff started coming down, there's no way. I don't know what that is.
Don't let it fucking hit you. Whatever
Alright.
the fuck it is. And she quickly pulls out one more vial. 2. And tosses one to Crin. If any of that touches you, drink that. Don't even hesitate. Just fucking down that shit.
All right.
It'll help.
Anybody else coming?
No. We're on our own here. Probably
Shit.
for the best for these fucking whacked out psychos.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck this rain is. Wherever it is, driving everyone fucking nuts.
Yeah, you see those 2 over there? And one of them is like literally grabbing the bunker, the bumper of the vehicle and just puking up his guts, just getting sick all over the tire.
Which one looks a bit more watertight? The truck or the souped up station wagon?
Let's see. That's a good question. Let me
I
look.
imagine the turret on the or machine gun on the station wagon might compromise that.
Well, that depends, because it might just be mounted on top.
Yeah, let me
Have
just
its own like little set aside, you know?
let me look at the weaknesses of the vehicles real quick. Let's see. So for Sam, we got Regina. The truck's name is Regina because, of course, the driver named his truck. This was his pride and joy. That's why he didn't want to get out of the back before he got his head blown off. Let's see. Hard worked, temperamental, +1 armor. To be honest, the Emperor's vehicle has been sealed up, stored away, kind of not been used. The truck, it's probably going to do better in the snow. It's kind of built for travel, but as far it's rusty. It's kind of old. It's hard worked. You know, it's probably got a few holes in it. That little station wagon over there, it's looking pretty new. Glass is nice. It looks, again, it's been stored in the garage. It's a garage vehicle, but doesn't have keys, it seems. And
Keys aren't always necessary.
right?
Especially the older the vehicle, the less the keys become necessary.
Yeah.
How big's the station wagon? That's, I guess, the main question. How big is it?
It's honestly,
comparison
it's
to the
it's like
truck.
one of those wood-sided, what is that, 60s, 70s style station wagon, but the back part of it, you got the front row seat, and then the back part, the back 2 seats have been replaced by this turret. So it's definitely enough for probably 2 in the front, 1 in the back, in the turret, and then probably ammo and storage down beneath the turret. It does look like the turret is open. It doesn't have an enclosure. So they get through the back, they hop in there, and they stand and move the turret in the back part. Kind of like they've just taken the back hatch off and just replaced it with a trunk. or truck bed.
Hmm. So, see, this is a conundrum. Sam can hotwire that thing and get it going again. And it'd probably be better than the truck, honestly. At least until she gets out to her baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. But that takes time and a little bit more effort than she cares to work with at the moment.
Right. I mean,
She
you
has to
have
leave
the
because she at least has to stab one guy.
right.
And if the other two start getting, if she takes too long, those two might stop puking and start going, all hail the entity.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be such a bad thing?
Honestly, no. She'll probably have to come back here and kill everybody later. But
Hey, there's someone coming just to do that.
there's many people coming this way to do that, apparently.
Yeah. This seems like a popular spot for massacre. Wonder how they're feeling right now. Huh, that place we were gonna take has a giant dark cloud raining over it.
Yeah.
So Sam's gonna look over to Kryn and go, opinion. And she just kind of points to both of the two vehicles.
Where are we wanting to go?
We're gonna get my girl back. Then we're gonna go find the place where that thing came from.
Shit.
Might be able to put a collar on that fucking thing.
If we're going there, we got to take the truck. I don't know if the car's gonna make it up there. And she hasn't told you quite yet where. She's now she hasn't quite noticed that she's like talking to you as if she's told you the location of your vehicle, but she hasn't.
Yeah, Sam knows that. But she's been kind of slowly making it that way into her mind. That's why she's been acting like she already knows where it's at. But she's gonna go, fuck. Is there any tarps around at all inside the garage? Any kind of thing to cover up the back,
Yeah.
the truck bed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
All right.
you probably have a few of those. They're kind of sun-worn blue tarps. Bit of. To be honest, I think because there is a second vehicle in that garage. There's the vehicle from the Ashtown folks. They have a truck as well. It's been pretty much stripped for parts, but in the back they have a couple tarps that they were using to cover wood supply. That's what they would bring up here. So yeah, they got some tarps, some straps, some things that they were using just to keep the wood dry on the way up.
Those have to do. Grab a couple of those tarps. Throw one over the back. Throw one over the front. I'll cut us out a piece for the fucking windshield.
All right.
We don't want any of that shit getting in on us.
She takes her rifle and just leans it up against the passenger door, just kind of jumps up over the back end of the truck, goes over there, and immediately just starts pulling these blue tarps and making their way back over. As
Sam will immediately grab one and quickly drop a knife out of her sleeve and start cutting out a good rectangle about the size for the windshield.
right as that's happening, Dusk, you're in you're in the church. The cult are all surrounding Lark, topless, allowing this water to bathe them completely. There are sounds of men giving orders, trying to keep calm, now seeing that the ballista did not seem to do anything, trying to find something else to do. Someone is screaming, "Where are the damn keys?" There's the child laughing, and there's Shazah laying slumped on the floor. You look to the ceiling, observing everything, and you notice that there's a stream beginning to form of this dark liquid, and it's strange. It seems like it is purposely snaking itself across these beams to go directly over Shazah. You see a drop begin to form right above his head. What would you like to do?
She's going to pick up one of the dropped cloaks and cover Shazah. with it.
Absolutely. Act under fire to get there before the drop does. As you grab one of the coats, to be honest, I think it's probably Abraham's bright orange jacket. You grab it and you begin to almost dive over. Just as you get the coat in position to block him, you see that drop begin to land, come directly towards you. You can try to, I mean, you can definitely protect Shazal. That's not a problem. The problem is, as this drop begins to hit you, you feel an influence. You hear the whispers of the Dark Zone. It's been a while since you've heard them, vague, not speaking any specific words, and you can feel the entity beginning to try to crawl his way back into your mind. You have the opportunity to resist if you wish, or to allow him presence within you.
She's going to resist, definitely.
As you resist, there's a move for that, of course there is. When the dark rains roll in and you feel the entity beginning to creep into your mind, if you wish to avoid him, roll plus hard. On a 10 plus, you ain't got time for this weird shit. On 7 to 9, you will choose one of a series of options I will give to you, and I will choose one. And on a miss, he has his claws deep within you, and I will choose a second option.
Okay. So rolling hard it is.
As you begin to try to fight back, the voice of the entity whispers something to you that causes you to calm for a moment. You can actually feel the maelstrom, this electrified ozone, begin to envelop around you. The second option I'm giving you here is this. The psychic maelstrom is that much closer. Hold 3 and spend 1 to take +1 weird forward. If the rain rolls out, you lose them. But he does have his claws deep in you as he begins to talk again about the same things he showed you, the vengeance that Dusk, with me, I will give you all you need to take down those that have hurt you, to take down those that tortured you, to destroy Enemo. When he has his claws into you, there's another move for that. Just steamrolling here.
Oh, we got Russian nesting moves.
Uh-huh. So this one, luckily, is only once per session, but he does have his claws in you. So it's when he has his claws into you, again, once more, roll plus hard. On a 10 plus, it's not the boss of you. You can choose one. You purge him from your brain. You can ask him a question as though you had opened your brain with 10 plus, or you can make him tell you about someone else he has touched, as though you had performed a deep brain scan on them with a 10 plus. On a 7 to 9, you choose one. He gets his claws in deeper. You temporarily lose the ability to speak intelligibly. You lose the ability to understand human speech. You lose control of a limb. On a miss, things get bad.
Oh god.
Very bad.
Oh shit.
This rain is nothing to fuss about on.
Meanwhile, Lark and everyone else is just lathering up outside.
Right. Well, I mean, again, they're already devout followers. It's those that aren't that are getting their shit pushed in. It's yeah.
I mean, she's going to keep resisting.
Yeah, no, I mean he's already in there, so he's already got his claws in you. This is to determine how deep those claws get. So give me another hard roll.
Yep. I mean, we
Right.
spent all our luck on the previous sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 in a row with hardly a failure. It's bound to catch up with us eventually.
Eventually. Normally this is my job to fail.
Dusk. This voice within you telling you that he will give you the control to fight against that harmed you begins to envelop your mind. You begin to feel your vision go a bit dark. His claws go in even deeper. And you temporarily lose the ability to understand human speech. The reason is you know those men up on the walls, the one all in the blue and black armor? They don't look like men in blue and black armor anymore. All the members of the Legion for Dusk look like men wearing the dark medical suits of NMO. And they are trying to speak, but their mouths are covered in medical masks, and you can't quite understand what they're saying. This place has just filled with your enemies. Lark, for a moment you notice something in the church. You see Dusk dive with an orange coat to try to cover Shazah. And she looks towards you, and her eyes are piercing black.
Lark kind of gets a bit of an evil grin at that. He walks to the church. He walks up to Dusk and extends a hand. And he just smiles and said, "Come, Dusk. We need to pay a visit to our old friend."
Dusk, you hear this man speak to you, but his language is backwards.
Could I roll to manipulate? See if I can...
It's up to Dusk. I mean, this man is reaching out. You recognize Lark. The only people you don't recognize now are the Legion. They all look like members of NMO. Everyone else looks the same. You just can't understand what he's saying.
I don't know if it would be like a... might not necessarily be a manipulation roll, so I'll articulate what I want to do. Lark, seeing that Dusk has been influenced, wants to try to use that to appear friendly and appealing to her. So I don't know if that would require more than just a standard manipulate roll.
In your current mindset, Dusk, do you feel like you would need to manipulate? Because I think there's still a part of Dusk that recognize who... It's not like you've forgotten everything. The only thing that's changed is that, again, it's like the Legion has all been replaced, but everything else still seems the same. You know why Shazah's there. You know why Lark's there.
I mean, at this point, Dusk isn't sure if Lark is like trying to bring this thing into the castle or trying to fight against it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole Legion being replaced with the animal doctors, it's also, I mean, if she remembers everything else, it's a bit confusing. She of course doesn't like that and feels very uncomfortable. I think at this point she's just going to grab Shazai and run the hell out of there.
Right. You go and you...
She's going for Shazah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lark's gonna get in her way.
Sounds...
Not like horribly aggressively, but he's gonna step in her way.
Yeah. No, I think this is... What do we want to say here? This is definitely something, probably an act under fire with an interfere from Lark. See if you can get out of his influence, get away before he's able to stop you.
I guess.
All right.
So that would be a cool roll.
All right.
All right. So I do not.
He misses,
do not interfere.
Indeed.
Oh, I guess everything's coming full circle here. Oh, there was a success.
As you grab Shazah, there's a moment that you see Lark try to move in your way. But you feel the presence of the maelstrom around you, and it's not all dark. You feel the radiating dark up above you. You feel the connection it has on you, but you still can feel that, like these Enemo soldiers up on the walls, that thing is trying to control you in a way, manipulate you in a way. You haven't fully accepted him. And because of that disconnect, you are allow the maelstrom to move you a bit faster. There's, instead of darkness, Lark, there's almost a spark, a flash of light as the dusk moves past you. And just as kind of the two, almost like your bodies touch, there's this little spark flash that occurs. And where are you headed to, Shazah, or Dusk?
Shazah's sleeping, I think.
Yeah, there you go. You're cold. Holding him.
Does she know where the Emperor keeps his car?
She probably... She doesn't know right now. Shazah knows, but he never told her. No, actually, no. You've explored this castle more than anyone else. You know where the hidden spots are. So yeah, Dusk absolutely knows where the car is. Or where at least the garage is.
Yeah, she's going to pick up Shazai and just run full throttle out of there towards the garage.
Right. You're gone. Probably get to about there. Sam, you get the tarp up and over. Crin's like tightening down the straps on the other side, making sure everything's tight on the trunk. You're making sure everything's form-fitted across the windshield of the truck. And when you notice movement, that strange girl in all white is carrying a boy and just sprinting down to this front courtyard.
Girl in white?
Dusk. You haven't been formally introduced yet, but the girl you'd seen in the church. Yeah.
Oh, so another one of the crazy followers. Not my problem.
Right.
Get the back down too. We don't want this merchandise getting wet either. Might be able
Right.
to use these things.
Yeah, no, the tarps are firmly in place up above the bed of the truck, locked down, so there might be some bumping, but nothing should slip loose. The one on the front has gone up. You've allowed it to basically connect to the door, so when you close those doors, it's going to kind of fold up and over the gaps, and you've done as much as you can to make sure that the front of this vehicle where you're going to be sitting is as waterproof as possible.
Yep. The back isn't entirely necessary. I still like to get a tarp up on the back too to cover up the bed so none of our nice guns and ammo and everything gets touched in this black fucking filth.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, the
But,
bed's covered
so-
and the front is covered.
Alright, get in. Time to go.
Quinn grabs her rifle, goes in, slams the door. It's kind of weird in here. There's like the shine of blue as you can't see out of. You can see out of the front. Did you cut holes out of the side windows as well? Do you have like little flaps to look out the side, or is it just in the front?
I've cut out holes in the front and for the back windshield. Sides are blind because that could lead to something else, but with the back windshield being visible and the front, that's about all I'm gonna work with.
You're in. You have the trusty key in your pocket. You go. You start it up. What's the plan? Where? I mean, the front gate's open. They haven't closed that down. I don't think there's going to be anyone standing in your way. All attention is going towards themselves or towards that big mass in the sky. So you got the dirt path heading out the main gate. Where are you going? Are you just going to start driving just to see if you can get out of the rain and make a decision from there? Or do you have a specific place in mind? Mm-hmm.
Which way was the coyote again? And she just kind of points at which one of the gates. Which way was the fastest one? Forget.
Shit, we gotta go. We gotta get to the peak.
Alright.
Go out the
right?
south gate. There's no.
South?
Yeah, the one that you're at now. It's the main gate.
Alright.
Yeah, so I can, real quick for reference, you're all here. The peak is over there. So you gotta kind of head. It's gonna be a little. It's a little journey to get there. It's not super close, but if your beginning of the path is getting out that south gate, getting out of the main gate.
Oh, and we're heading south for the winter.
The winter has
And
come.
winter has already come. Time to fucking book it. Getting that thing in fucking drive, and I'm hauling ass out of here towards the south gate.
Just like that, Sam, Kryn, and vehicle. Is that everybody? Vroom. There we go. They vroom out the front gate. Let's take our camera real quick and we zoom out of the castle. The chaos that's happening in there. Dusk running around, Lark stripped down, bathing with all of his followers. There's another individual behind the wheel of this gorgeous green armored personnel transport. A bit of generic 2000, early 2000 music. Maybe still playing but turned down. You know, you got to be professional, but there's just something common about having music in. You don't want that whisper sneaking up on you even though you're in the vehicle.
I don't know how far she can go.
Right. But Chris, you have pulled the vehicle out of the garage. You can see through the slatted window that dark blip. It looks tiny, a little, maybe no more than a dime on the windshield for you. But you look down. You can see that mass over in this direction. What does Chris want to do?
Chris is driving towards the blip because that's obviously where he's got to go. But seeing that does not help that anxiety he's had going on. Yeah. And as he keeps going, and I imagine as he starts driving, it becomes apparent how far and large this thing actually is. And kind of tapping the steering wheel along to the music best he can, trying to. He's like distracting himself at the same time, trying to be focused because this is what he's got to do. But oh, there's so many feelings, so many emotions.
Certainly a hodgepodge. Your stomach's just flip-flopping all over the place. Your heart's elevated more than you would like it to, but you are.
Looks to the road, looks to the rifle in the passenger seat, looks up, looks at the gun, looks at the radio, looks back at this. Oh man.
The amount of space between you and how large this thing is, you're trying to push and push. The vehicle itself, I mean, it is not super fast. Sure, it's got decent handling, but I mean, this thing, it's armored.
It'll get
Is
through the
Chris-
snow, but it's not going to do it quickly.
All right, is Chris going to try to push the vehicle to get there quickly? Or are you taking your time, keeping it safe, get there when you can? Because basically the path you're going, you know, you have to get down and then around. I guess it depends. You wanted to get on the high side, so it's a matter of getting down into the valley and probably getting up this valley and then up here to get to the high ground.
Yeah. Chris is normally a cautious individual, but I think he's going to be pushing the vehicle a little bit because he sees that this is not a good thing.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to have you do a deal with bad terrain roll. So roll plus cool plus your vehicle's handling, which should be 1.
All right, cool +1. It's what I am good at. Oh my god, that bad roll.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
I forgot to add the +1, but
Yeah. Okay.
still a partial.
Yeah, on a 7-9. Slow down, you push too hard. Honestly, I think it's just a matter you're trying to push this vehicle and there's chains on it. Those chains start to buckle with the speed.
And they've probably been sitting in the cold for a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Let's see. When a vehicle suffers harm, 1 harm. Yeah, honestly, it probably suffers 1 harm, cosmetic damage. It is basically starting to tear up like the wheel wells and maybe damage the tires a little bit, pushing the speed. It's not too bad yet. You know, a few scratches on the paint, maybe a few dents in it, but it's getting there. And you probably push yourself by the time you've traveled, you know. Is that on the map? Why can't I click that? Oh, it is. Poor Chris here. He was not on the object on my air tab. You push yourself into the valley. You still got a ways to go, but you're able to push your way into the valley. You hear the grind, but as you get down here, you realize the terrain's not that bad. It's a bit flat. There's some structured at least a path that you can take a little bit just to get through the valley before you have to make your way up the next mountain. And
as Chris gets to this area, though,
Yeah.
he wants to take a very short detour towards Eisenwells because he believes he knows where that blip came from.
Absolutely. So as you get past here, are you looking to go toward what's the location you're looking to stop at?
He wants to. He's probably guessed generally where the entrance to the cave should be. So he's going to try to just swoop by there quick and then continue on his way. It's more like kind of confirming what he already knows, but he wants to know if there's like a big opening.
Right. Chris expects there to be this gaping hole in the side of the mountain. What Chris ends up seeing is the pathway completely fallen down and the mouth of the cave completely just destroyed with rubble, collapse. The mouth of the cave is closed shut. Looks like an explosion went off in there and has sealed the mouth of this cave.
Poor bastard. And Chris just continues on towards the castle. And I think there's a moment where he just looks at the rifle and, keeping one hand on the wheel, holds that small mitten he has. He just shudders a little bit, knowing that this might be a similar situation. Whatever he's got to do when he gets there, it's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna be quick and ugly.
Right. As Chris begins to travel through the valley, making his way as quick as he can, Dusk, you have run into the front area, the main gate kind of courtyard, just as Sam's vehicle darts up and out of the front gate, just spinning and flying away, covered in tarps. You hear pain coming from your right-hand side and look over to see two members of the Legion on the ground, just getting sick. One member of the Legion is back there. It's Rothschild, and he's trying to get these two, and you notice that one of them is actually his son, which is Dust Witch, is down getting sick. They have the Emperor's vehicle pushed out. It is sitting there still for now. That large turret glistening. Everything looks clean, but it's starting to darken with the rain that falls on it. What would you like to do?
Honestly, Dusk is going to take a book from a page from Sam's book, and she's going to drive out of the castle. So, but Rothschild they're kind of guarding the car, right?
They're at least there and would notice you coming. They seem to be focused on their son, but their purpose was to get this vehicle in position.
How many? I think Dusk still has a hold on Rothschild.
Mm-hmm.
But it was to let her live in the storage area. But I think I can use that to basically tell him to take his son away.
Absolutely. As you go to access that part of your mind, I need you to act under fire first, as those claws within your mind attempt to stop you from giving this command. You're able to resist it for this time.
Nice.
Rothschild goes and immediately just lurches forward, having just watched over his son, his hand on his back, just immediately goes and picks up his son just as you have Shazah, and the two of them run back towards the garage, just getting out of the rain, getting him into a place of safety. The last member of the Legion, I think you probably recognize it as good old Tor, another member of your history, is there puking his guts out, just getting absolutely sickened by this rain. You avoid him and get to the vehicle. You put Shazah in the passenger seat. You start rooting through his pockets. You find the keys. You're sitting inside this very nice vehicle. There's even almost a smell of, well, Dusk would not really know, but almost a smell of a new car in here. Just as you feel your hand place the key within the ignition, you stop and you flinch as you see a hand step up and grab the side of the door, no longer seeing Tor there anymore. It is one of these scientists. He's reaching for something down in his waistband. It looks like a gun, You don't want him to shoot you. Don't want him to shoot Shazah. What do you want to do?
Time to die. She'll throw out her knife and she just try to stab him in the neck.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's definitely suckering him. You take your knife and you fling it through the windshield. It just shatters the not the windshield, but through the passenger window. It shatters the window and pierces into his neck. As the blood begins to fall from his neck, this illusion begins to fade with it, and as the blood, it almost seems to wash away the outfit of the scientist, revealing the black and blue outfit of the Legion beneath it, and you just see Tor, his eyes wide, completely in fear. You see that all he was grabbing for was a cloth to wipe his mouth, and he just falls back dead. You hear gurgling. You have the keys in the car.
I'm not sure if it's a good time to roll that new move.
I think it is. You just killed somebody.
Right.
So we're gonna see the effect. Yeah, the evil within. All right. So just so everybody knows, Dusk has a new move. Whenever you kill someone, roll plus weird. So on a 10+, you are filled with murderous determination. You now inflict +2 harm on your next 3 targets until they're dead or you're stopped. You can't roll for this move again until the targets are dead or you are stopped. Dusk, seeing one Enemo agent destroyed, this place full of enemies, who are your next 3 targets?
Oh, Christ.
I would like to say the entity, but
Is this going to be just a situation where the next 3 targets are just the next 3 people that get in your way?
I mean, that would be the most straightforward answer, I guess.
All right, so we aren't going to name specific targets yet. It's basically whoever stands in your way. So whoever, or maybe not necessarily stands, but whoever gets in the way. Whoever basically stops Dusk from doing what Dusk wants to do. Has Dusk ever driven before?
It's a very good question.
That is.
But I'm going to assume not really.
Right. Okay.
She's just going to try and drive this thing on pure instinct.
Pulling out the owner's manual from the glove compartment.
I
She
mean,
doesn't have time for that. I mean,
it's a good
she
thing
probably
it's not
can't
manual.
even read fast enough.
It does seem to be an automatic vehicle.
And you broke the window, it's still raining.
Right, you definitely, the passenger window is definitely broken.
God.
But it doesn't matter because you're just going to try to drive this vehicle out of the rain, because you can see the rain isn't everywhere. You just got to get out of the rain. That's all you got to do here. But you've never driven before. And this vehicle is not that great when it comes to snow driving, unfortunately. The Emperor doesn't seem to be wanting to use this more than a stationary weapon. I'm going to have you also deal with bad terrain.
This is how I die.
It's going to be a, yeah. So there is no plus handling here. The vehicle's not going to be handling very well, partially because you don't know how to drive it, and it's
I
not
don't know
built
how to
for these
vehicle.
You don't know how to vehicle. You just don't know how to. So just give me a cool roll.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to roll twice. I think this is laggy. I'm just giving it a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, lovely weather we're having. Black rain.
Okay, let me try again. Okay.
Oh dear.
What is this? Supposed to be fucking knocked off with chocolate rain.
Chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Some say try and others are really feeling the fucking pain.
So, Dusk, you do what anyone that might be a bit panicked thinks they need to do, and that is slam their foot as hard as they can into the gas pedal. And the vehicle screeches and slams into the side of the gate. It's gonna take definitely 2 harm, functional damage. It's you probably just at least at minimum one of the tires is flat and there might be a fuel leak.
Oh god.
I'm gonna have to have you roll 2 harm moves here. We're gonna first do the vehicle harm. So please roll actually +0, as this vehicle does have 2 armor. So perfect. No worries. You are able to basically not have the vehicle completely destroyed. You still, instead of having the full blown out tire and fuel leak, you probably just have the fuel leak. The tire is okay, and it's not fully slammed into the gate. You can probably re-maneuver it, but now we need to see if you got hurt. So this would be 1 harm can blow through to the passengers, to you and Shazah. Do you have any armor?
Or you have a move that gives you armor, right?
Yeah, impossible reflexes. And I mean, I don't know if I can Ultra Instinct this.
I also don't know if Visions of Death still applies.
It does. It absolutely
Cool.
does. Yep.
Cool.
So okay, I think I'm using the if you're naked or nearly
Yeah.
naked, I get 2 armor.
Yep. So go ahead and roll -1. 2d6 -1.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is giving +2 or -2, but
Okay, we can look at it. Let's see, 2d6
I
plus
think it's
2.
+2.
Yeah, so that should be an 8.
-2 would be a 7.
So 3 plus 6 is 9, and -1 would be 8.
Oh, okay.
Okay, on a 7 to 9.
I mean,
So
7
you-
to 9, so pretty much the same.
All right, you lose your footing, you lose your grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to. So it's not that you basically, this whole thing, it forces you to let go of the wheel of the vehicle for a moment, and part of it is because of the force, but you also realize that almost outside of your own control, your body is moving to stop Shazah from darting forward, almost like it's being manipulated to stop him from getting hurt. You find yourself kind of outside of the driver's seat, sitting kind of between Shazah and the dash of this vehicle, just holding him in place, kind of like a cat, just stopped there. The vehicle's kind of puttering, sounding a bit, it's got a few more grindy gear than before. Unfortunately, that crash was quite loud. It's called the attention of not only Rothschild, but the legate who's been standing up on this tower giving commands. He hears it, and he can see that, well, there's a Dusk or someone, they don't know who, but there's someone that obviously has the keys to the vehicle that has just ran the Emperor's vehicle into a wall. Lark, here in the rain, you hear the legate shout out, "Stop them!" And you see him pointing down to the south towards the front of the gate. 5 of the Legion begin to run through the courtyard, heading in that direction.
What you said, Lark saw all that?
Lark hears like the legate, shouts, "Stop them!" And
You
now you can
probably
see the
also heard
Legion, the loud crash.
crash.
Yeah. To be honest, Sam probably heard the
Just
loud
jammed.
crash back behind her as well.
Just looking behind her. Who's this?
Whatever.
Lark isn't really paying attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Dusk made her choice, and he's going to, for now, respect that choice. That has been something he's taught to his group for a long time. You don't force people to join, because it's not how you get loyal followers. You make them want to join.
Doing that.
And but he did hear something that he very much is interested in: the Emperor. Lark begins walking towards the Emperor. He looks back to Rourke and kind of issues a few stern commands. Not all of them are taking to it well. Ensure that the chaos is kept to a minimum. There'll be cleanup after this, and let's not have to do more than what we already have to do.
Rourke smiles. We'll keep things under control.
See to it. And Lark very quickly, kind of a bit of a fast walk, starts making his way towards where he heard the Emperor.
Yeah, the Emperor's kind of standing not as high up as the legate. He's standing up on the roof, having his attention called down, like he's watching his soldiers begin to make their way through the courtyard, and you see him probably beginning to also make his way across this roof, headed probably to this walkway over here.
Oh, yeah. I imagine to get into the castle, Lark has to kind of move up and around.
Right, yeah, you're gonna have to, if you're trying to get to him, it's just gonna be an act under fire just to get to him before he gets to where he's going.
All right. Would I be able to roll Entity's Insight first?
Absolutely.
Let my god guide my hand. 7. Okay.
On a 7, you take 1. Which do you take?
I'll definitely be taking 1 forward.
Absolutely. As you open your mind to the entity, you find yourself again in that place. The place that looks like the cave, but it's not. The well, as it were. Do not waste your time with those that have turned against. Go and accept your baptism.
I only wish to be closer. And besides, the Emperor has denied you for so long. These people have denied you, but how can they deny after this? All of this. Your domain, your empire begins here.
This is not the end of things, only the beginning.
Exactly.
I need you to become my champion. I need an army.
In every army needs a commander. Lark.
You will not be commander. You will be king.
Lark is making like a beeline towards where he saw the Emperor.
Yep. Go ahead and act under fire and add your +1 forward there.
All right.
Lark, you have a choice to make. Do you go the path in which the legate sees you approaching the Emperor, or do you go the other way to find the Emperor wherever he gets to? Basically, if you go the way you're going now, let's just say you see this from here as you're leaving. You see the path you have to take now is going to lead you by the legate. Or you head across the courtyard and try to stop him at this walkway.
Did I see him moving towards that walkway?
You see him heading in this direction, probably towards wherever the commotion is. So this walkway would be...
Yeah. I definitely feel it would make more sense for Lark to try to cut across the courtyard and cut off the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'll do. So basically, he, instead of through the castle, he heads like kind of down and around.
Right. Yeah, you begin to head towards this direction as these 5 individuals begin to make their way to the courtyard. Down the road a bit, Sam, Kryn begin driving down the southern pass. You don't have to go far, maybe 200 yards before the dripping of the rain begins to get lighter and then ceases altogether. The bit of light still there begins to shine through as you escape the shadow itself. You hear Kryn sigh a sigh of relief, but then you hear that loud crash behind you. You look back to see the Emperor's vehicle has just slammed into the back gate.
Looks like I wasn't the only one who had a good idea. They sounded all fucking nuts. Not our problem, though. I'm just gonna slap even harder on that gas pedal, because the rain might stop, but I don't know when that thing's gonna start moving. Best to make as much distance as possible before it starts moving again.
Right.
Out on the dusty trail.
So Sam, as you begin to make your way, Kryn sighs her relief and begins to look towards you, kind of... Fuck. Alright, we're going to get... I hadn't told you yet. Fucking Denver has it. Who is Denver? And Sam, why does it piss you off so fucking much that he got it?
My fucking ex.
Absolutely. You know Denver.
He's the fucking ex that stalks you no matter what, no matter how hard you done him. I've shot his fucking leg off once. And he somehow got reattached and he still follows me!
Right.
Oh, what could he have done to my baby?
Yeah, Kryn tells you a bit. The Denver that was this stalker ex, this freaking robo-legged motherfucker. Oh, he's got a new position now, doesn't he? That scheming son of a bitch. With his damn smile. Oh, that's how he got you every time. Yeah, this boy. Well,
Love his fucking teeth across
he's
his
now
goddamn nose.
He's now a chief of
Chief of what? Shitter?
the Slicks. Oh, you remember the Slicks, don't you? You damn do. Yeah, they're the ones that supply the fuel down to the valley. A group of rovers always traveling, delivering that fuel to the settlements down there. They focus on that barter, but they worship that oil. Oh, and guess who their main fucking buyer is? None other than your goddamn sister. Oh, you remember, he was a part of the gang. It's kind of weird he would have gone over there. Probably something your sister and him had to do. You know, he was always scheming to get with her. But you want your vehicle back, the peak's a place to start.
There's more shit that's gonna start there. You can damn well bet on that. Why did it have to be him? Why did it have to be that son of a bitch? Well, no. I need to make a pit stop on the way then. I'm gonna need something for this.
Crin looks to you. I mean, if you're trying to get down to the valley, the only way is through Portum, and that shit's on fire right now. I'm not sure.
Nah.
Those boys are going to be too happy with me showing up. All right.
Shits are up here in the mountains.
Where are we going?
And she looks off towards the mountain. The very same one that she always keeps looking at. The one that's giving her that light back in the past. We're going to the base of that mountain. Some rows there that I need.
Right. So you're talking about the dark zone over there.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to just say, I guess, does Sam choose to go back through the castle, or are you going to try to avoid it and just, like, four-wheel it down the side of this mountain to just get to this path? Is Sam going to take the chance that shit's going even more crazy in there and possibly get stopped for a moment or have to, I don't know, deal with the dumbasses in the place? I mean, I guess the main thing is, does Sam want to drive through the rain again by going through the castle, or avoid the rain by going four-wheeling?
Well, she was a raider. She's not afraid of four-wheel.
Let's do it. So Regina has, well, of course, Regina doesn't have too much handling, but Regina's strength is off-road. So go ahead and give me a cool roll, but go ahead and add a +1 forward here, as this is exactly what Regina was built to do.
Right. Probably good, because I am not good at cool.
No, we're doing a lot of cool tonight. It's the first time we're getting into vehicles. It's exciting. Oh, did you do a -1 on that? Let's see. That's actually a 10. Because you had -1 +1. Yeah. Not sure what happened there, but no worries. You skate on through. You fly through untouched. You bounce around a bit, kind of avoiding trees, rocks, a few cliffs here and there, but you find yourself down on that path that you had driven once before, back beyond the castle, completely avoiding the rain. You hear the rustling and bustling of the things back behind, but Crin, she tied those straps down tight, and not a single thing is lost on that journey. But you quickly find yourself on that path.
Perfect.
Dusk, back in the castle. You try to reposition yourself to get up out of this weird position that you've been holding Shazah in, only to look through the back windshield past the little foot pedals of the turret to see 5 more NMO agents charging your direction.
She's going to try and pull back the car, and if she hits them, the better. And just
Absolutely.
try to get the fuck out of there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Using the vehicle as a weapon. This is a go aggro situation.
I really need to up my heart a bit.
But
Yep.
okay. But okay. Oof, what happens here?
Oh, okay.
I think honestly, it's in a way, these individuals are standing in your way. You oh man, it's too bad that all of them are running in that period formation. It's just a bit too bad. You're bound. You got that murderous intent in you. You're not just stopping them. There is an explosion of blood and viscera as Dusk just annihilates 5 members of the Legion, sending body parts and everything up into the air, just destroying them. You feel that murderous intent fade from you, Dusk, as that illusion absolutely disappears, and you realize 100% that that was 5 members of the Legion, people that you know, including that younger, strange new blacksmith, kind of mousy individual. You're gonna be to be honest, I think this is a suffer some psi harm kind of situation here. Like your mind just breaks at this realization that as soon as your murderous rage is gone and you see that, like, this is absolute covered in blood. This is an explosion of blood. Your mind just kind of splits. You feel that ringing in your ears,
Getting the numb flashbacks.
yeah, it's bad. Go ahead and roll. We're gonna be rolling psi harm, so this is 1 psi harm. So roll +1.
It's 1.
All right, on a 7 to 9. You lose your footing, you lose your grip, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to, you miss noticing something important. You take a single concrete action of the MC's choosing. You yeah.
There's a lot
So what
of things.
happens here is as you slam into this group of people, the car just shuts off. The key's no longer in the ignition. Shazad's still passed out. Lark, just before you get to the Emperor, you both hear scream and look back to see the explosion of red as the Emperor's car goes in reverse and absolutely demolishes a small group of the Legion. The Emperor doesn't even know. The Emperor has the 1,000-yard stare as this happens. But Lark, you can see through the windows. you can see that dark black hair.
Mm. She thinks she can escape it, but she keeps walking right into it again. Oh, the irony. And he looks over to the Emperor. We need to have a chat.
The Emperor looks to you. This rage fills his eyes. We're not talking about shit. He turns his back to you and whistles to the legate. The legate pulls something from his belt and fires a flare up into the sky. For a moment, there is this bright flash of light. And Lark, you notice something. That blob in the sky, it reacts. It pulls away. You almost hear a screech. You're not the only one to notice that. The Emperor notices that. The legate notices that. This thing can be hurt.
Does Dusk notice that?
Dusk probably hears the pop and the screech, maybe doesn't see it exactly, but probably has a chance to look out the window and see the flare up there, so probably able to put 2 and 2 together.
I can probably see the flare, right? That's about all I can see.
In your rear view mirror. Or actually probably, no, actually, unfortunately you can't because you don't have your side, you can't see out the side of your window. And that's where it would be right now. It'd be off your right-hand side, your passenger side. So you probably hear the pop off in the distance, but you don't see it. And you're too far away to hear the screech. Chris definitely sees the pop, but doesn't hear the screech as well. But for the moment, it's Lark. You and the other main members of the castle just see this thing react. There's a light bulb that just went over their heads.
I don't think Lark is too concerned about it because though he recognizes this blob as like the entity's doing, and perhaps even part of the entity, he recognizes this as was Princey trying to get control of the entity. So he's not. These people can't actually kill the entity, obviously, because it's the entity.
Right.
Any physical manifestation they damage is obviously Princey. So Lark's absolutely fine with what's happening. He just looks to the Emperor. Oh, I think now is a good time to talk.
Manipulate this son of a bitch.
All right.
All right.
This might be the most partials we've had in a long time.
Concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. Okay. What? The Emperor has just seen 5 of his men die. He's seen this rogue enemy be injured by something. There's a lot of things on his plate right now. There's also this strain in the back of his eyes that you can tell this rain is doing something to him as well, and he's trying to fight against it. Like, you see visual anguish on the man's face that's not just from what he's seeing, but something he's feeling. What is your... Why should he go with you? Why should he speak right now? What can you do to help him in this situation? He has
Lark,
a rogue enemy and dead men.
Lark kind of like just waves a hand out to the courtyard. Chaos is running rampant. You will be lucky if you have a castle left to rule by the end of this. I can help. I can salvage what's left. You know I handle these things quite well. And my followers have gained quite an influence within your walls, whether or not you like it. The fact is, Emperor, you need me, or everything you worked for is going to fall to pieces.
Right? Basically, I'm the only thing that can stop this from happening. Yeah, makes sense as you stand there with your dark black eyes, half naked, and in a way he might even think you're under control of this thing. He stops, he does a quick hand movement towards the legate, almost giving him a command without saying it, turns to you, pulling his jacket up high, trying to pull the collar up to get as much rain off the back of his neck. There's still these veins popping on his forehead that you've never seen before. He walks over to you, his hand just resting on the top of his sword, not grasping it, but almost to keeping himself balanced. He comes over. I thought we had an agreement. I thought you said you would help me deal with this shit. I should have known it was a lie. You are one of them yourself.
I did exactly what I promised. This is not my doing. This is Princey manipulating things he had no control over.
This dark energy is speaking to me in the voice of your fucking god.
As it was Shazah. I fixed that. I can only do so much, Emperor. I am a mere man. For now. How is the legate reacting?
The legate's disappeared from the top of the tower. You don't see him. You saw him dart away. And he's...
So we were alone, you were saying?
You are alone. The only other... There's only one. There's Rothschild down here. But Rothschild just saw the explosion. There's the whole car thing. I'm not sure his attention's up behind him at the moment.
Oh, how interesting. You were so worried about me and the entity. Dusk has killed far more than I have ever within these walls. In fact, I can only think of one.
Do you think I did not see Dusk running from your church? Do you think I do not see your cult bathing in this? How am I not to know that you are the ringleader of all of this?
I don't control Dusk. I feel like that's been made plenty clear. I certainly wouldn't have ordered her to steal your car and flee.
This must end. There will be nothing left of this. Look to my people. Showing the courtyard where everyone's just in fits of madness, and there's a few that seem to be accepting this as happy joy, but most of them insane. You say Princey caused this? You told me that Princey was sealed away, no threat, that it was no danger to us. Those were your words. A problem we could wait on to deal with our problem to the south. And here, this is at our front door. What are you protecting, Lark? It is certainly not your home here.
Home. Yes, that sounds nice. I have been protecting my own interests, as you have, for so many years. That fateful day so long ago when we crossed paths, we agreed to go our separate ways, but here we are again. Again, I can't help but smile. It's so very interesting. We took very, very different paths to get here. But Emperor, things have stayed the same for far too long. I think a change is in order. I don't ask you to accept this now. I simply ask you to keep an open mind as Lark opens his brain.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. If everything works out properly, I will get an improvement at the perfect time, and it's going to be amazing.
What are you in search for as you open your mind?
I'm searching for Lark has a plan to take control of all of this, but he wants to know. Lark wants to open his brain to know how to make the Emperor as vulnerable as possible.
Oh, this is quite simple. Oh, Lark finds himself in a place that he's never been, but we've seen a few times. Seated in the courtyard of the church, in front of a chess table. Seated across from you is the Emperor, not speaking, looking towards his chess pieces that he has moved in various positions across his little chessboard. You hear a whisper. Take them. They're yours. And you start to see some of the lovely white pieces of the Emperor's begin to bleed and change brown. The knight is yours. The bishop is yours. Those 5 pawns, they're yours. There are already members within his men that just need to see the new commander, the Black Eyes. If he doesn't have his men, he has nothing.
Oh. As Lark kind of comes out of this, silly me for forgetting. Change has already happened. Lark is going to draw his 38 and shoot the Emperor.
Yeah, that's definitely a go aggro situation there. Absolutely. He's
Ooh.
okay. You're doing a...
It is the 38 revolver. I believe that is 2 harm, loud reload.
All right. He is wearing some armor.
Lark is aiming to like headshot him if possible, but
Right. There's a splat of red, and the Emperor falls off the wall, down off the side. It's unclear where he lands down below. As the gun goes off, Lark, you can see that the legate has made his way onto the courtyard. He was running to get into position, but he sees the gun go off. He sees the Emperor's body go lifeless, and in just a mere second, his sword is out, and you see the head of Abraham removed from his shoulders, and the legate begins to fight the cult. If the legate is in a fight with another NPC and no PCs are involved, the legate always wins. Abraham loses his head just as the emperor loses theirs, and with that spurt of blood, Rourke turning, fumbling for the gun, the pure chaos of this place, we are going to fade to credits because it is just about that time.
Oh boy.
Oh man, my friends.
Just so the plan, because I haven't gotten to use that frenzy move.
Mm-hmm.
The plan was to use frenzy, which would give me my last improvement, and I would take the get a holding.
That works.
I saw everything lining up so well. Abraham's a bit of a loss, but
Oh, and
every revolution needs a martyr.
right. Oh boy, it's I don't even have words. Tonight was awesome. Oh boy, Dusk. I'm sorry, Dusk. Tonight was very hard on Dusk.
Yeah.
Life is hard on Dusk.
The
She's
damn-
kind of used to it.
and Chris is so close, but
He's so close, and I have a feeling he's going to be running into a few people on his way there.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun. I know for you, Dead, things might be changing, so we'll talk about schedule and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just. I really have nothing else to say. Tonight was amazing. This story, oh boy, did it descend just as epically as I believed it could. So it'll be exciting to come back.
I was so excited for that. I saw everything coming together, and it's like, this is it. This is when Lark usurps the Emperor and becomes the dark leader of the castle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, it's happening. It is happening. Well, that's all I have here. I'm gonna go wrap up the video. As always, thank you three for playing. Thank you anyone out there that is watching. We'd love to have you. This is a fun story, and we will talk to you again next time. Have a great one.